Why do so many millennials feel poorer than their parents? It's not just in your head. Across social media, dinner tables, and late-night group chats, the same questions keep popping up. Why does it feel like we're working harder, but getting less? Why does everything cost so much more? And how did building a stable life become so out of reach? Today we're peeling back the layers on the financial struggles facing a generation, going beyond the memes, the stereotypes, and the headlines. It's time to uncover what's really going on with millennial money, and why so many of us feel like we're running a race we can't win. Let's find out. Let's clear something up, once and for all. This isn't about individual choices or splurging on small luxuries. It's about a much larger systemic issue that's impacting an entire generation. Being broke, or feeling perpetually financially insecure, isn't fundamentally about avocado toast or lattes. Those are just easy targets, convenient scapegoats. That's just a convenient myth, a way to deflect from the real problems at hand. It's a narrative that ignores the bigger picture. The real issue? What's truly driving this feeling of financial instability? The economy has fundamentally changed, shifting in ways that disproportionately affect younger generations. Millennials are the most educated generation ever, having been told that education was the key to success and financial stability. Yet we're stuck running in place, working harder than ever but not seeing the same returns. Our parents' milestones, the things they achieved with relative ease, house, a symbol of stability and the American dream, car, a means of freedom and opportunity, family, the foundation of a secure future, feel increasingly out of reach, like unattainable goals in a world that's become too expensive. Even when we follow the rules, play by the book, and do everything we're told, the system doesn't seem to work in our favor. The game is rigged. The rules have changed, often without our consent or even our awareness. The costs have soared, outpacing wage growth and making it harder to keep up, and stability is slipping away, leaving many feeling like they're constantly on shaky ground. We're not entitled. We're not asking for handouts or special treatment. We just want the same shot at security our parents had, the opportunity to build a stable and fulfilling life. So let's look past the lattes and the superficial criticisms and focus on the numbers, the cold, hard facts that paint a clear picture of the economic realities we face. This isn't whining. This is a legitimate concern backed by data. It's math. It's economics. It's a clear and present challenge. Wages, which have stagnated for decades, debt, particularly student loan debt, which has reached crisis levels, and the cost of living, which continues to skyrocket, especially in major cities, have all shifted against us, creating a perfect storm of financial pressure. Let's break down why millennials feel perpetually behind, and what factors are contributing to this widespread sense of financial insecurity. Let's take a moment for a reality check, shall we? It's easy to get caught up in narratives, but sometimes the numbers tell a different story. We need to look beyond the surface and delve into the data to understand the true economic landscape. Back in 1985, a time many boomers were establishing themselves, the median household income in the United States was approximately $23,600. This was the economic reality of the time. Fast forward to today, and that number has significantly increased. For millennials, the median household income is around $75,000. A seemingly impressive jump on the surface. Sounds great, a huge leap forward, right? Until you factor in the silent thief that erodes purchasing power, inflation. Inflation changes everything, and what that money actually buys in today's market compared to the 80s is drastically different. The cost of goods and services has risen sharply. To put things in perspective, let's look at wealth accumulation. In 1989, boomers at age 35 owned a substantial 21% of all U.S. wealth. They were building a solid foundation. Now consider millennials at the same age, 35. How much of the nation's wealth do they hold? Just 6%. That's not just a small difference. That's a massive drop, a significant shift in economic power. Productivity has soared since the 1970s, thanks to technological advancements and increased efficiency in the workplace. But despite this surge in productivity, wages have barely moved. They've remained relatively stagnant, failing to keep pace with the value being generated. The extra value we create, the profits generated by our increased output, isn't coming back to us in the form of higher wages or better benefits. We're constantly told we have more opportunities than ever before, a wider range of career paths to choose from. But the fundamental promise that hard work leads to a better life, the cornerstone of the American dream, is increasingly broken. Our parents, the boomer generation, could reasonably expect to get ahead, to climb the economic ladder and achieve financial security. For many millennials, we're not even trying to get ahead. We're just desperately trying to keep up, to stay afloat in a system that seems rigged against us. The data proves it beyond any doubt. This isn't about laziness or a lack of ambition, it's about a system that's fundamentally changed, a system that's left us behind, struggling to navigate an uneven playing field. We're not imagining it, we're not making excuses. The gap in wealth, the disparity in opportunity is real and quantifiable. And alarmingly, it's not shrinking, it's growing wider with each passing year, creating an increasingly unequal society. Let's talk about the basics, the fundamental pillars upon which we build our lives: housing, the roof over our heads, the foundation of stability; education, the key to unlocking potential and shaping our futures; and healthcare, the essential safeguard for our well-being. These are not luxuries. They are the bedrock of a secure and thriving society. In 1985, a house cost about $80,000, a seemingly attainable goal for many families. That was roughly 3.5 times the median income, a manageable ratio that allowed for savings and investment. Today, the landscape has drastically shifted. The median house price is around $430,000, almost 6 times what millennials earn. The dream of homeownership feels increasingly out of reach. College used to be affordable, a pathway to upward mobility, accessible to a wider range of students. Now, it's a staggering $25,000 a year for a public university, and that's before factoring in room, board, and other expenses. Student debt? It's become a crippling burden for an entire generation. Over $1.7 trillion nationwide, a figure that casts a long shadow over the economic prospects of young adults. We start our adult lives deep in the red, saddled with debt before we even have a chance to build a foundation. Healthcare premiums have exploded too, placing an immense strain on family budgets. It's over $23,000 a year for a family plan, a cost that rivals many families' annual income. Even with a good job and decent insurance, a single unexpected medical bill can wipe you out, erasing years of savings. Childcare costs rival mortgages, forcing many parents to make difficult choices about their careers. Every dollar is stretched thin just to cover essentials, leaving little room for savings, investment, or even basic leisure. It's not the coffee. That's just a convenient scapegoat. It's the cost of building a life that's out of control, the systemic barriers that prevent us from achieving financial security. Our parents could save and invest, building wealth and security for their future. Now we're just trying to stay afloat, constantly battling rising costs and stagnant wages. That's the real crisis, the erosion of economic opportunity and the increasing difficulty of simply living a decent life. Let's put faces to the numbers. Meet Sarah, 34, master's degree, $110K salary in tech. Sounds great, right? But her rent is $3,000 a month, and she's got $80,000 in student loans. After taxes, rent, and debt, she's barely scraping by. Homeownership out of reach. Then there's David, 38, electrician, $70K a year in the Midwest. No college debt, but he's worried about childcare and healthcare costs. No pension, no safety net, just a 401k he funds himself. Both are working hard, but stability is elusive. These aren't rare stories. They're the new normal. Millennials are playing by the rules, but the rules don't work anymore. The dream feels further away than ever. The good job of the past is gone. Pensions and job security have been replaced by gig work and short-term contracts. Now the average worker stays at a job just 4 years. Benefits are on us, not the company. High salaries in big cities are eaten up by sky-high rents. It's a financial illusion. More money but not more security. We're more skilled and productive, but we've traded stability for uncertainty. The good job is a mirage. Salary without security, perks without a future. We're running faster just to stay in place. The middle-class life our parents had is slipping away. So what now? The system is broken, but despair isn't a strategy. We need real solutions, systemic ones. First, tackle runaway housing costs and make homes affordable again. Second, address student debt with forgiveness or income-based repayment. Freeing millennials from debt would boost the whole economy. Third, modernize the safety net portable benefits for all workers, not just full-timers. This isn't just a millennial problem, it's an American one. We need policies that help us build, not just survive. Stop blaming lattes. Start fixing the system. We're not asking for luxury, just a fair shot at the dream.